But today we're going to talk about petitgrain. So petitgrain comes from the bitter orange tree. It was originally from southern China, but it was brought to Paraguay in the 19th century and now flourishes easily in this part of the world. The bitter orange tree is really interesting because 3 different essential oils come from it. Bitter orange, which I don't think we've got. For some reason, in the back of my mind, I was thinking that doTERRA had all 3, but I can't even think of an oil that we don't have an oil called bitter orange. But so I might be forgetting. So Victoria or Gail, if you know, you can pipe in and share with us. But then petitgrain comes from the tree's twigs and leaves, and it's steam distilled. And then neroli comes from the blossoms. And one of the things that's interesting to me is neroli and petitgrain come from the same tree, but they smell so entirely different. It's an interesting thing. I use neroli a lot. It's a great oil. Petitgrain is also great. So the bitter orange essential oil comes from the rinds of the fruit that's from a cold press process to get them. But petitgrain has been used for centuries in perfume and traditional health practices. It comes from, the name comes from the fact that it was originally extracted from green and young oranges that are about the size of peas. So that's the name peta. So for petite grain. It's sometimes also used in food and beverages as a flavoring agent. I'm going to send you a link to a co-impact sourcing video about doTERRA and the growers in Paraguay. It has really been having a huge impact on it. It's supporting rural community development projects, provide diversified income for small-scale farmers, and it's the way doTERRA is doing it. It provides an economically viable alternative to clear-cutting the land, which is protect the remaining patches of the Atlantic rainforest in eastern Paraguay. So they've just had hundreds and hundreds and probably thousands of acres that have just gone in and clear cut, and then they put in houses or they put in businesses or something. And this is making it so the small farmers can make a living from their petitgrain trees. So it's a really cool, I think it's 3 minutes. So take the time to watch it. Another just fun fact, the fruit of the bitter orange tree is quite small for a citrus fruit. It's about the size of a cherry. So that's really small. Oops, there's another one I want to show you. So this is a close-up of the twigs and the leaves and the blossoms that you can see. And this is just a diagram that shows that there's three oils, the bitter orange oil, petitgrain, and the flowers provide neroli. So it is the oil of ancestry. Petitgrain involves a deep appreciation for positive forms of ancestral knowledge, wisdom, and family history. All individuals carry a portion of their ancestors' lives and stories within them, physically, emotionally, and through inherited traditions. Petitgrain invites individuals to choose to honor the good that was inherited from their family and also make the path lighter for those who follow. In this way, petitgrain is also a great aid in healing a complicated family history. Who has complicated family histories? To a certain extent, I think we all do. And there are different forms of complicated, but still, we all have interesting situations in our family histories. It invites individuals to accept the humanness of their ancestors and seek to learn from their mistakes. Instead of avoiding the pain from the past, Petitgrain encourages thoughtful awareness of how to heal wounds in the family line. It reminds those who desire to disconnect from their family origins to be willing to see the positive of healthy family connection. Petitgrain reminds individuals that through accepting their ancestry, they can find peace, clarity, wisdom, and empathy for their own journey through this life. It's not necessarily obvious to us thinking about how our family histories and our ancestors might have affected us. But if you stop and think about it, it's just little things that are passed down. My boys all, well, and most of my siblings also just think I am so weird because I will wash out Ziploc bags. Unless they're really greasy or stained or whatever, I just can't throw out Ziploc bags. It's wasteful. And I think that probably came, why my other siblings didn't get it, I don't know, but it came to me through, my parents were raised in the Depression. And I think that their attitude towards using every ounce of usefulness out of items comes down to me. So none of my children wash out Ziploc bags, but I do. And I guess it is kind of comical, but look at all the plastic I save from the landfill. But that's just one of the little things. Some of my grandparents' attitudes and the way they looked at the world, and the way that they looked at politics, the way they looked at other people around them, I've inherited those. Both sides of my ancestry were really into service, and that has come down into my life. So there's a lot of things, but there can also be some negative things that abused children. There's a high percentage that were abused when they were children, or abused adults. Lots of them were abused as children. And it's really hard to break that chain of habit or whatever, and make the conscious choice that I'm not going to do that. So Petitgrain can help with those things. So the negative emotions that we want to feel less of are disowning ancestry, repeating negative family patterns, duty-bound, loyalty to unhealthy traditions, or dishonoring progenitors. The positive properties that we want to feel more of is pioneering, deciding we're going to do things a different way, taking the good from our family history and then discarding everything else that doesn't serve us and building and pioneering a new way for ourselves. Chain breaking, cultivating healthy traditions, embracing positive family connections. So there's lots of ways that it can help us emotionally. So the top properties are, it's an antidepressant, an antiseptic, antispasmodic, cardiotonic, detoxifier, immunostimulant, which means it's supportive of your immune system, a nervine, I don't know whether it's nervine or nervine, but it will calm your nerves, a sedative, a tonic, and uplifting. So the primary benefits of it are that it may support healthy cardiovascular and immune function when used internally. It provides powerful internal antioxidant support. We all need all the antioxidants we can get. And internal use may help promote a restful sleep. So some of the top uses of it are, if you are concerned about sepsis, Petitgrain would be useful in helping alleviate that concern. Sepsis is a type of infection which may happen to any open and unprotected body part, external or internal, and is caused by a kind of bacteria called Staphylococcus aureus. An antiseptic like Petitgrain can fight the infection by inhibiting bacterial growth. The oil is non-toxic and non-irritant, so it can be applied safely internally externally or ingested. It's an antispasmodic. So spasms in the respiratory organs, such as lungs and respiratory tracts, can result in congestion, breathing troubles, and coughs. While in the muscles and intestines, it can give painful cramps and abdominal aches. So petitgrain, being antispasmodic, can encourage the muscles and the tissues to relax, and therefore it can be supportive in your getting rid of those spasms. It has a relaxing effect that is helpful in overcoming depression and will help in your struggles against anxiety, stress, anger, and fear. So it uplifts the mood and induces positive thinking. It can be used as a deodorant. It's a woody yet floral fragrance of petitgrain. Does not leave any trace of body or odor. It curbs the growth of bacteria in those parts of the body that are always subjected to heat and sweat and remain covered by clothes so sunlight cannot reach them. In this way, the essential oil prevents body odor and various skin infections which result from these bacterial growths. It's a nerve tonic because it's got soothing and relaxing properties, and it protects your nerves from the adverse effects of shock, anger, anxiety, and fear. It is a great sedative, so it's great for treating insomnia. So when you've got irritations, inflammations, anxiety, anger, all of these things that can cause insomnia, then it will be soothing and relaxing to all of those, so it can help you sleep. It is good for maintaining the moisture and oil balance of the skin, as well as for treating, if you have skin eruptions, then it's good for treating those. Abnormal sweating, if you're super nervous and so that it causes you to sweat, then it can be supportive of that. It is good because it's maintaining the moisture. It's helpful if you're fighting drying and cracking skin. It helps relieve fatigue during pregnancy, and it can soothe nausea, and it can help the urge to vomit decrease and to feel less of that. So it's also good because it's an antiseptic and all of those other ones. It's great for helping your wounds heal. I ended up with a second, a bunch of these repeated, so I'm sorry about that. So we'll skip some of these. It is great for improved focus and mental clarity. It is calming and helps you with eliminate anxiety, helps you eliminate anger also. But the great thing about it is it's not going to make you groggy or sedated. It can improve your focus and help you think more clearly. I'm so glad that there's so many oils that will help you think more clearly and help you focus, because I need that in my life. And it's nice that you've got a variety that you can use for those. Some users even claim better memory when using petitgrain. It's a great oil to use with your meditation. You can add a drop or two of petitgrain oil if you need to help your scalp be healthy and your hair to look shiny and feel smoother and softer. It can be used, it has been found to be helpful in fighting addictions like cigarette smoking and substance abuse. You need to, if you've got those things that you're trying to fight, then you should talk to a healthcare professional and consider adding aromatherapy with petitgrain to your daily routine. It can reduce bloating and in all different parts of your body. If you have a sudden attack of anger, shock, and hysteria, you can inhale it from your hands or diffuse it. If you experience palpitations and hypertension, you can apply it to the back of your neck, forehead, or the bottoms of your feet. If you are feeling really lonely, you can diffuse it. If you've got dry, cracked skin and acne, then you can apply it to the areas of concern, and you can add it to your facial care program. You can add it to the face cream or whatever. If you are feeling nauseous, then you can take it in a capsule or apply to your abdomen. So, like I said, the Petitgrain is a really useful oil. If you haven't been using it, pull it out and try it again. I will be sending you the wonderful resource sheet from Laura Jacobs, and she has some additional ways that you can use it on there. So be sure and look at those. And then I will, it might be in a separate email. It might be attached into the email that I send you this with. But I've got a bunch of diffuser recipes for you. I've got a dog flea deterrent that you can use, a fresh dishwasher detergent, that a recipe for that, and a gluten-free aromatherapy clay. So if you've got if you've got a child that needs Play-Doh that needs to be gluten-free, then I've got a recipe for you that you can use. So I think there's a good chance that all of you have Petitgrain. So pull it out and say, okay, let me experiment this week and see how I can use it. And just try it for a week in different ways. Hopefully today is not as crazy as like last week. And so hopefully the handout will get to you today with the recipes and the diffuser blends, and this will be posted today.